Hi, I'm Kylie, a romance writer who believes every great love story holds a hint of danger. Tonight, a single gesture shatters a glittering world, a tale of pride, prejudice, and breathtaking revenge. If this story pulls you in, let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more and comment Spotify if you want the full audiobook on Spotify. The air in the penthouse was as cold as the champagne in the silver bucket. It was a calculated chill, a psychological weapon Aiden Thorne employed during negotiations, and today, the target was his wife. Maya sat on the edge of a modernist sofa that felt as welcoming as a glacier. She wore jeans and a simple cream-colored sweater, her hands folded in her lap. Across the vast expanse of polished concrete floor stood the tribunal. Aiden Thorne, impeccably dressed in a slate-gray chiton suit, studied his reflection in the floor-to-ceiling window overlooking the Chicago skyline. Beside him, his mother, Gwendolyn Thorne, a woman whose face was a taut mask of maintained youth and perpetual disapproval. Completing the trio was their lead counsel, Robert Vance, a man who billed $1,000 an hour to dismantle lives with sterile precision. "We can make this simple, Maya," Robert began, his tone suggesting this was a tremendous favor. "You initiate the divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. You waive all claims to the Thorne family trust. You relinquish any right to alimony. You vacate this residence and the Lake Forest estate immediately. In exchange, Mr. Thorne offers a one-time settlement of $75,000. He paused, waiting for the eruption. $75,000 for 5 years of marriage to a man whose net worth was measured in the high hundreds of millions. It was a slap, not a settlement. It was Gwendolyn's idea, of course. She wanted to see Maya flinch. "It's a generous offer," Gwendolyn said, her voice like scraping ice. "Given your complete lack of contribution. No family connections, no meaningful education. You were a bookstore clerk when Aiden found you. We are paying for silence. Don't mistake it for anything else." Aiden finally turned from the window. His gaze was distant, already moved on. "Just sign it, Maya. Don't create a scene. Serena is expecting me. We have venue tours." Serena Davenport, heiress to a Midwest banking dynasty. Polished, pedigreed, and approved. Aiden hadn't bothered to hide the affair, leaving traces of it like breadcrumbs for Maya to find. A receipt from the Langham, a gossip column link texted by a concerned friend. Maya looked at the document. The legalese blurred, but her vision was clear. She was thinking of the late nights she'd spent calming Aiden's panic before shareholder meetings. The times she'd quietly reworked his philanthropic speeches, inserting the empathy he lacked. The hours she'd spent soothing Gwendolyn's social anxieties. She had been the silent foundation beneath the glittering throne edifice, and they saw her as interchangeable furniture. "I have one condition," Maya said, her voice soft but unwavering. Gwendolyn's lips thinned. "Here we go." "No," Maya said. She reached into her bag, not a designer purse, but a well-worn leather satchel, and pulled out a fountain pen. It was solid platinum, an heirloom from her grandfather. "I don't want the $75,000. The room stilled. The hum of the hidden HVAC system was the only sound. "Excuse me?" Robert frowned. "I don't want the money," Maya repeated. "I want a clean severance. My name is to be removed from all Thorne Holdings documentation, including the silent advisory clauses in the charitable foundation bylaws. And the non-disclosure agreement regarding my background becomes mutual. If I can't discuss you, you cannot discuss me." Robert's eyes narrowed, scanning for the trap. A mutual NDA was standard. Refusing the money was irrational. "You're declining the settlement?" "I don't need your money," Maya said, looking directly at Aiden. "I just want out." Gwendolyn let out a sharp, derisive laugh. "The little martyr." "Fine. It saves us the check. Amend it, Robert." "Maya," Aiden said, a flicker of something akin to pity crossing his features. "You have no real job history. Where will you go?" "I'll be fine, Aiden." Robert scribbled the amendments. He slid the paper across the glass coffee table. Maya didn't hesitate. She didn't look at the panoramic view she'd called home. She signed her name, Maya Ross. She didn't write Thorne. The divorce required her legal name, and her signature was the elegant, looping script of her childhood, buried for years. She capped her pen and stood. "You have 24 hours to vacate the penthouse," Gwendolyn snapped. "My suitcase is by the service elevator," Maya replied. "I won't be returning." At the door, she paused. "Aiden." He glanced up from his phone, already texting Serena. "Be careful with the Denver acquisition next week," she said quietly. "The mountain communities trust loyalty over leverage. Don't use Robert's hostile terms. They'll walk away." Aiden rolled his eyes. "I think I know how to run my company, Maya. Goodbye." The heavy door clicked shut behind her. In the silence, Gwendolyn exhaled. Finally, the charity case has closed. Now, Aiden, call Serena. The Davenport merger is waiting. Aiden felt an odd, hollow sensation. Closing a deal usually felt like a victory. This felt like a loss he couldn't quantify. Maya exited the gleaming tower into the brisk Chicago wind. She walked 2 blocks west, turned into a narrow alley, and approached a black Mercedes Maybach idling with opaque windows. The rear door opened before she reached it. A man stepped out. He was tall, built like a retired athlete, his overcoat perfectly tailored. He held an umbrella against a non-existent rain, a gesture of pure protocol. "Mademoiselle," he said, his voice a low baritone with a French accent. "It is done." "It's done, Luke," Maya said, sliding into the sanctuary of the car's interior. It smelled of cedar and leather, a scent from a former life. Luke took the driver's seat, catching her eye in the rearview mirror. "Does he know?" "He thinks I'm heading to a women's shelter." Maya leaned back, closing her eyes. The mask she'd worn for 5 years dissolved, revealing the steel beneath. "He is a fool." "Monsieur DeSantis is waiting at the hangar at Midway," Luke said, pulling the car smoothly into traffic. "He is impatient. He wished to handle this himself." If Nico had been in that room, Aiden would be picking his teeth off the floor, Maya said, a faint, weary smile touching her lips. "I needed to do this myself. I needed to see if there was anything left in him to salvage. One shred of decency." And he checked the time on his Patek while his lawyer listed my inadequacies. She pulled a phone from her coat, not the outdated model Aiden provided, but a sleek, secure device. She dialed. It was answered on the first ring. "Maya." The voice was deep, textured, carrying the faintest trace of a Roman accent. "Hello, Nico. Are you safe? Is Luke with you?" "I'm safe. En route. I signed. No support, no claims. Mutual NDA." A dark, approving chuckle came through the line. "Mutual. Clever girl. That means when the truth emerges, he cannot claim defamation. He signed away his right to complain. You have disarmed him with his own pen." "I'm tired, Nico. I want to go home." "The jet is ready. We leave for Sardinia tonight." "But Maya," Nico paused. "The Thorne Foundation Gala is in 2 days. The guest list includes the mayor, the Davenports, the entire board." "I know," Maya said, her eyes opening. The fatigue was gone, replaced by a cold, crystalline resolve. "And we are attending." "As who?" "Maya Thorne is dead," she said. "She died in that penthouse." It's time for Maya Rossetti to return. Back in the penthouse, the mood was superficially celebratory. Aiden tried to focus on work, but hit an immediate wall. He accessed the secure server for the Denver acquisition files, the environmental impact assessments, the community outreach plans Maya had meticulously drafted. Access denied. He tried again. Access denied. "What the hell?" he muttered.
He called IT.
"This is Aiden Thorne. Why am I locked out of the Denver Project Drive?" "One moment, sir." A pause. "Sir, that drive was hosted on a third-party encrypted server. The access was revoked 15 minutes ago. The account was listed under Mr. Consulting." Aiden's blood ran cold. "Maya Rossetti, restore it.
Now."
"We can't, sir. We never hosted the primary data. It was mirrored from an external source." The owner pulled the plug. Aiden slammed the phone down. "Damn her." Petty sabotage. He could rebuild the files. He was Aiden Thorne. Gwendolyn swept in, holding a tablet. Serena sent over 3 potential wedding venues. The Drake, the Chicago Athletic Association, ignore that. She's deleted the files. It's nothing. She's lashing out. It's pathetic. Gwendolyn waved a hand. Oh, the gala coordinator just called. A VIP guest has requested a last-minute landing slot for a private jet at the Lake Forest Estates Strip during the party. Heavy aircraft. Very high profile. Who? They wouldn't say. Very discreet. Aiden's ego inflated, pushing aside his unease. It must be the Sovereign Wealth Fund from Qatar. They've heard I'm unencumbered and ready to deal. Perfect. Grant the clearance. I want everyone to see who I do business with. Excellent. Gwendolyn purred. This gala will be our triumphant return. It would be a triumph, but not for the Thorns. The private hangar at Midway was a temple to silent wealth. The jet waiting was not a standard Gulfstream. It was a Bombardier Global 7500, painted a matte gunmetal gray, its tail number registered in Luxembourg. As the car stopped, a man descended the air stairs. Nico DeSantis, 45, with hair silvering at the temples, eyes a penetrating shade of hazel green. He wore a cashmere sweater and dark trousers, the picture of understated power. He was a specter in financial circles. His holdings in maritime logistics, renewable energy, and rare mineral rights were vast but rarely attached to his name. He had loved Maya Rossetti since they were teenagers running through the vineyards of his family's estate in Tuscany. He crossed the tarmac and pulled her into an embrace that felt like coming ashore after a long storm. I have you, he murmured into her hair. It's over. Maya finally broke. The tears she'd withheld soaked into his sweater. I feel so foolish, Nico. I wanted a simple life. A real one. You fell in love, he said, holding her at arm's length. There is no crime in that. But you fell for a man who loves his reflection more than anything else. That is his poverty, not yours. His mother called me a charity case. And on Saturday, Nico said, his voice dropping to a dangerous promise, we will remind them that some charities are run by lions. Inside the jet, the opulence was profound and personal. As they taxied, Maya watched Chicago shrink away. Nico? The Denver deal. Aiden will bungle it. He'll alienate the entire Watershed Council. Let him.
No.
If it falls through, the conservation easement fails. 2,000 acres of protected forest gets sold to a strip mining conglomerate. Aiden used the foundation's endowment as collateral. His failure has ripples. Nico studied her. Even now, her concern was for the land, the people. This was the woman he knew. What do you want to do? I want to buy the debt, Maya said. The loan he took against the foundation's assets. I want to own the note. Nico's eyebrow arched. That will cost roughly $250 million. Maya reached into her satchel and removed a small velvet pouch. She tipped it. A signet ring slid onto the table. Heavy gold, bearing the emblem of a winged lion. The Rossetti crest. My trust reinstates upon final divorce decree. I have full access to the family offices as of this morning. Nico laughed, a rich, warm sound. Welcome back, Maya Rossetti. Keep your capital. I'll acquire the debt through a holding company by tomorrow. Consider it a homecoming gift. Thank you. She took a steadying breath. Now, the gala. I need a dress. You need a declaration, Nico corrected. I already contacted Valentino. Pier Paolo is meeting us in Porto Servo. The Mediterranean sun baked the ancient stones of the Villa dei Pini in Sardinia. Nico didn't rent villas. He restored them. Maya stood on a terrace overlooking the Costa Smeralda, the sea a dazzling blue. She could breathe. Inside the great hall, chaos was being shaped into art. The centerpiece was a dress form. Pier Paolo Pacioli himself was adjusting a fold of fabric. The silhouette is a weapon, he said, his voice thoughtful. He tried to make you small. We will make you unforgettable. The dress was a masterpiece of blood-red silk file, sculpted to the body with architectural precision. A single dramatic drape swept from the shoulder, and the back was open to the waist. It was the color of victory, of warning. Nico entered holding a tablet. The debt acquisition is complete. The holding company, Lioness Ventures, now owns the note. Aiden's foundation is leveraged to the hilt. He breached the ethical investment covenant the moment he fired the sustainability director. We can call the loan at any time. So quickly? His lenders were nervous. The rumors of his divorce from the nobody who managed his philanthropic integrity had already spooked them. They were eager to offload the risk. Maya touched the red silk. So I own him. You own the sword, Nico corrected. The choice to wield it is yours. If you call the loan, he has 24 hours to repay $250 million. He's liquidated assets for the wedding. He doesn't have it. Maya looked from the dress to Nico. For years, she had been a ghost in her own life. Now she held the heartbeat of Aiden's world in her hands. Not yet, she said. Calling it now is a financial move. He'd blame market forces. I want him to see it's me. I want him to know, in front of everyone, that he was the charity case all along. The night of the Thorn Foundation Gala, the Lake Forest estate glowed against the Midwestern dark. It was a display of raw opulence. 300 guests drifted across manicured lawns. Aiden stood near a champagne tower, forcing a smile. Serena Davenport clung to his arm, a vision in frothy white tulle, chattering about floral arrangements. A low, throbbing hum began in the distance, cutting through the string quartet. It deepened into a roar. A shadow blotted out the stars. A massive, matte gray bombardier descended, its engine screaming, flying so low the champagne flutes trembled. It banked sharply and touched down on the private strip at the property's edge. The party froze. Who was that? Serena shrieked. The jet taxied to the perimeter gate. A trio of black Range Rovers raced to meet it. The air stairs deployed. Moments later, the convoy drove straight for the main gate. Security moved to block it. The lead driver flashed a credential. The gates swung open. The vehicle stopped at the edge of the red carpet. The music died. The rear door of the center car opened. Luke emerged, then turned to offer his hand. Nico DeSantis stepped out first, a figure of imposing calm in a black tuxedo. He turned back. Maya emerged. A collective intake of breath swept the lawn. The woman in the blood-red dress was a stranger, and yet familiar. Her dark hair was swept into a severe chignon, her makeup dramatic, her posture regal. She carried a small, beaded clutch. She looked nothing like the muted woman who had organized silent auctions. She looked like she'd come to claim one. Aiden's glass slipped from his hand, shattering on the flagstones. Maya? Gwendolyn charged forward, face mottled with rage. This is a private event. Security. Remove this trespasser. 2 guards advanced. Luke moved in front of Maya, a silent, immovable wall. Maya gently touched Luke's arm. She looked past Gwendolyn to Aiden. We aren't trespassing, Gwendolyn. She opened her clutch and extracted a thick, cream-colored envelope. We received an invitation, addressed to the resident of the penthouse. The title transfer doesn't clear until Monday. Technically, that's still me. It was a loophole, a clerical oversight Gwendolyn had never anticipated. Nico stepped to Maya's side, his hand resting possessively on her lower back. I hope we're not late. Maya was insistent we stop in Milan. She has exacting standards. The mayor of Chicago broke from the crowd, beaming. Nico DeSantis. This is an honor. Mr. Mayor. Nico nodded, then gestured to Maya. You know Maya, I believe. Though perhaps not as she truly is. The crowd parted for them as they moved up the carpet. Aiden stood paralyzed. Serena was hissing in his ear. Do something. She's wearing Valentino. He's my designer. Maya stopped before Aiden. She smelled of bergamot and defiance. Hello, Aiden. Lovely party. The ice sculpture is a bit literal, don't you think? What are you doing here? He hissed. I paid you to disappear. Maya leaned close, her voice for his ears only. You paid Maya Thorne to disappear.
She's gone.
You're speaking to Maya Rossetti. You really should have checked who bought your foundation's debt this morning. She moved past him. His phone buzzed violently. A text from his CFO. Urgent. Lioness Ventures has called the foundation loan. Full amount due tomorrow. Accounts frozen. Aiden looked up, wild-eyed, as Maya accepted a glass of champagne from a stunned waiter, laughing at something the mayor said. The trap wasn't just sprung. It had snapped shut around his future. The gala had become a public execution. Aiden finally broke, striding toward her, interrupting her conversation. We need to talk.
Now.
I have nothing to say to you in private, Aiden. Your lawyer was quite clear on that point. You bought the debt. That's predatory. It's prudent asset management, Nico said smoothly. Your foundation was a poor risk. We corrected that. You're trying to ruin me. Maya turned to face him fully, her voice carrying in the sudden quiet. I'm not trying to ruin you, Aiden. You did that yourself. You leveraged a charitable trust to fund a vanity wedding. You fired the only people who understood the environmental commitments. You turned philanthropy into a ledger sheet. She took a step closer. I didn't buy the debt to destroy the foundation. I bought it to save it from you. Gwendolyn, humiliated and furious, lunged. Her hand rose to strike. Luke caught her wrist with an effortless, terrifying grip. I would not, he murmured. Maya looked at her with profound pity. Let her go, Luke. She's harmless. She turned back to Aiden. Here are the facts. Lioness Ventures owns the note. You've defaulted. I am converting the debt into a controlling interest in the Thorn Foundation's endowment board. You can't take my foundation. It ceased to be yours the moment you breached its charter, Maya said. I am reclaiming its purpose. She addressed the stunned guests. My apologies for the disruption. Please, enjoy the rest of your evening. The final blow came from Serena. She stared at Aiden, then at the frantic texts from her father demanding she disassociate. Aiden, she squeaked. Is it true? Are you broke? Serena, I can fix this. She yanked the enormous diamond ring from her finger and threw it at his feet. I am not marrying a scandal. She fled. Aiden stood alone in the ruin of his life. His mother was weeping. His fiancée was gone. His legacy was in the hands of the woman he'd discarded. Maya didn't look back. 3 weeks later, the headline in the Chicago Tribune read, The Silent Benefactor, How Maya Rossetti Toppled a Throne. In the boardroom of Thorn Holdings, now being quietly rebranded, Aiden Thorn sat opposite Maya.
He was a shell.
Maya, in an emerald green suit, laid out the terms. His remaining non-voting shares were bought out for a sum that would just cover his personal debts. He would disappear. The Thorn name would be removed from the foundation, which would be renamed the Rossetti Initiative. Did you ever love me? Aiden asked, a broken whisper. Or was it all a setup? Maya's gaze softened for a fleeting second. I loved you enough to make myself invisible for you. I took your mother's contempt. I made your world work. The steel returned. But you wanted an accessory, not a partner. And when you were done, you tried to throw me away with the trash. She stood. You forgot what my grandmother taught me, Aiden. Rossetti women don't fade. We reign. He signed the papers. It was over. On the tarmac at O'Hare, under a pale morning sky, Nico handed Maya a passport. Sardinia waits. Properly this time. Maya looked back at the skyline one last time, then took his hand. Let's go home. As they boarded the gray jet, the cameras flashed. Maya offered the press a smile that was both a farewell and a beginning. She had exited her marriage in silence. She had returned with the force of a reckoning. And in the end, the quiet divorce had been the loudest victory of all.